tired of it, guys, man. All of you needing these rank 1 custom tactics. Guys, I'm here for you, man. I'm here to supply you guys with the tactics. Make sure to like and subscribe if you are new. Make sure to check out all the other videos on the channel. You don't want to miss out, guys. Otherwise, guess what? Rank 1 will not come to you just through tactics. You have to check everything else out. Make sure to turn on post notifications. Anytime you miss a video is a time you miss out on another win, guys. Make sure as well as always to share with a friend, guys. And thank you for all the support. We're on 3,600 subscribers. Let's get to 4,000 as quick as possible. Now, what tactics do I use for rank 1, guys? Make sure to check out my highlight videos. I've updated these just a bit now, and I think this is the best I've come to in terms of tactics. Let's start off, guys, with my starter formation, and it's the 4-2-3-1. Now, this might be a bit tweaked from the 4-2-3-1 I made a video on. Now, that's not a problem, guys. You can still use the one that works for you, but for me, in FUT Champions, I want to just push up for it from minute 1. So I do change it just a bit to kind of emphasize that, guys. So we're going to start on balanced and 50 width and 65 depth. Now 50 width because I think the width it works perfectly as it does in the 4-2-3-1. It's compact, it's good in the middle, it's perfect as it is, guys. You don't need to mess around with that too much. Depth, meanwhile, 65, guys. 65 depth. I think that's the perfect way to play this, and I'm going to tell you why. Because you really need to be pushing up with your 4-2-3-1. A lot of people sit back with it and then they just can't make it work at all, guys. Don't do that. Make sure it's 65 minimum, guys. Next, build-up play is going to be balanced, guys. You're not going to mess around with long ball because the runners are not as much, there. Slow build-up is okay, but like I said, I want to really press up in this formation. If you're playing rivals, then maybe slow build-up is for you. And fast build-up, not at all, guys, because the players have a bit of, the 4-2-3-1 is not as fast of a counter-attacking formation, so you don't want to waste your time with fast build-up and, lose your chances. Next chance creation, guys, is going to be direct passing, the one thing that works, and I think if you look at all my formations in this video, it's going to be direct passing, direct passing, direct passing, guys. Next width is going to be 55 in attack, just stretching out the lamb and the ram. Obviously, you can switch around however you want to make them work, but lamb and the ram need to just widen up a bit, guys, just to give me more emphasis going forwards down the wings. 6 players in the box because I think you really need to bombard the box if you want the goals. That's the truth at the end of the day. And then 1 corner, 1 free kick as per usual, because of the glitch. Now, guys, the striker is going to be on get in behind, stay forward. Now, the reason for this is because we need them to stay all the way up there, but we want them to be making that run. We need someone to be supplying the ball to our striker, and our striker cannot be supplied the ball if he's just standing around. We need him to get in behind and make those runs, guys. Meanwhile, the middle cam for me is always balanced. I never move this around. This is because I want them to be able to track back just slightly for me and help me out, but at the same time I want them to be able to be up there for attacks. So I want them to be as balanced as possible. The ram and the lamb are going to be both on comeback on defense and get into box for cross. It's just a double mixture. It's a box-to-box thing, guys. Comeback on defense to help out, obviously, in defense, and then get into box for cross just so that they run up there and obviously are there for the back post crosses and all that kind of stuff that is so OP this year. Now, comeback on defense means that you'll be thinking, right, everyone's just going to drop back. That's not how it works, guys. There's a limit as to how many players can drop back, and therefore, if anyone is not there, then these lamb and the ram positions can cover it, but if someone is there, they will not be wasting their time tracking back, so don't worry about that. Now, guys, one of your center defensive midfielders is going to be on cut, pass, and lane, stay back, and cover center. This is just so there's that one player that's going to be cutting off all the runs, cutting off all the passes. He's going to be making sure that everything is completely closed off and shop is not open till tomorrow, guys. That's literally it. We're closing the shop. And then the other player is going to be on cut, pass, and lanes, cover center. They are the bulldog. They are going to be running around, getting the ball back, intercepting, and really harassing the opponents. And that's what your other CDM is there for. Your left back and your right back are both on stay back while attacking. Nothing else added. I usually have overlap or something else, but not here, guys. In FUT Champs, I feel like it just gets you downzoed. I don't think it's necessary right now. Keep them compact, keep them staying back. And the goalkeeper is always on comms for crosses because I like my goalkeeper coming out, punching things, pushing the ball out. I don't like them to just sit and go and be passive with everything. I want them to run out. Now, guys, if I am in a position where I am, for example, needing a goal, or I just went behind, or I just want to put more pressure because I feel like I'm better than the opponent, guys, I switched to the 4-3-2-1. Now, it's going to be the same, 45 width, 50, well, 50 width last time, but 45 width, 60 depth, guys. What is the reason for 45 width is because just keep it as compact as possible. Just keep the middle locked up. And 60 depth, guys, you know, you need to push up a bit, you know, you need to be scoring. And if you feel like it's not enough, even push up to 65, feel free to do so. But for me, 60 depth works perfectly as it does. It just means that you'll be pushing up a lot more and being able to get the ball back in dangerous positions in the final third of the opponent by pressing against the opponent themselves. Build-up play is going to be unbalanced. Once again, I'm not going to be messing around with the others. I want to keep it as it is. It's good in the middle. I don't need to mess around with that too much. Direct passing, because like always, it works. It gets your players into the box, and especially now when you have 2 forwards and 1 striker, it means that there will be 3 players constantly making those runs for you, and that's going to make it so difficult to defend against because it's just so unpredictable, and that's exactly what you need, guys. 50 width. The width works as it does. There's no need to mess around with this width too much. It just works, guys. It's compact, it's nice, quick 1-2s. It works. 6 players or 7 players in the box. It's up to you guys. I put on 7. I want the box absolutely. Once again, harassing the opponent, guys. It's just, I want the players in there, getting the ball back as quickly as possible because the press is so relentless. Corners 1, free kicks 1, as per usual, guys. Now, your striker is going to be on stay central. Your right forward and left forward are going to be on stay central, get in behind, and stay forward. Let me explain this to you guys. The reason why everyone is on stay central is because we don't want this to become a 4-3-3, because this would not work that way. So make sure they all stay in the middle. Get in behind for the forwards means that they are going to make those runs in behind, but staying forward means that they're always going to be up there for those runs, which is so important because your striker, who's not on getting behind, because someone's going to have to supply the ball, is going to be able to help them out. So your striker kind of becomes like a target man, not necessarily, but if you watch my 4-3-2-1 video, I have gameplay over there. I'll leave the link in the description and also in the comment section, so you guys can have a look at what I mean. But the striker basically becomes the kind of a target man, picks up the ball, the left forward and the right forward make the runs forward, and he's the one that supports them by passing and supplying the ball. Your midfielders are going to be the most important part of the game. Your CDM technically is your middle centre mid, who's going to be staying back and covering centre. This is very important so that they can create a triangle with the 2 centre backs and make sure that nothing goes through. Then your right centre mid is going to be on stay on the edge of the box for cross and cover centre. This is so that they never run in too far into the box, and then you obviously are stuck with one CDM and no one else because everyone's pushing up. And then your left centre mid is on get forward, cover centre, get forward, because they are going to be the 4th supplier. Once again, my 4-3-2-1 video is absolutely perfect for this and explaining exactly how it works in game, whilst also having gameplay for visual effect. Your left back and your right back are going to be on stay back while attacking and overlap stay back, because obviously, like I said before, help the defense. There's enough players pushing up in this formation for you to be able to work it. There's no need for more. But overlap because you want them to be passing those through balls through to the forwards if they're making those runs, and you want to be able to do that from a position where your right back and left back have the most space and the most time to be able to assess all of your options. Your goalkeeper's obviously on comms for crosses, guys. Now, if you're trying to defend the lead, guys, the last 10 minutes, you're up by 1 goal, and you need to become a rat, the ultimate Ratimus Maximus. This is the Ratimus Maximus formation, 4-2-3-1, second variation, because it gives you that wing play whilst also giving you a good target man up front, guys, to boost, you know, just boot the ball to, really. Drop back is your defensive style, guys. Very important. Obviously, you are going to be dropping back. You are just defending at this point. 40 width. Keep it as compact as possible, especially since it's the second variation. Keep it super compact. Don't get the right mid and left mid to stretch out the defense too much. You want it to be exactly how it is, but also just a little tiny bit of a drop from your players. 30 depth. Now the 30 depth is very important. You're just a Ratimus Maximus. I don't even know why I'm trying to explain this. You're just a rat. Build up play is balanced. There's no need to mess around with this too much. Possession, you want the players close to each other, so make sure possession is the way. They're also going to be looking for more gaps in the midfield, allowing you to have options to pass into at all times. Width is going to be 45 in attack, just because you're trying to keep it wide but not too wide, and not, you know, narrow enough for it to become a normal 4-2-3-1 basically. So 45 works perfect. 1 player in the box because you're not attacking at this point. 1 corner, 1 free kick. Your striker is going to be on stay central target man. You want to make sure that they're reliable and they're always there. You don't want them to be making runs. You don't want them to be coming too short. You want them to stay up there. You smack the ball to them with RBX or R1 plus long pass button on the PlayStation, and they're going to head it down or forward to someone else. They could potentially pass it to the cam, who's going to be on comeback on defense and stay on the edge of the box for cross, just to make sure no one gets into the box because of work rates. You're going to have them on this. Your left mid and your right mid are going to be on comeback on defense, just to help out the defense. Stay wide so that they're always there on the side, so you can pass them and you know once again where they are, especially since people get into very narrow formations to counter attack in the last few minutes. You want to get them to stay wide so that it stretches the opposition even more and maybe gets you that extra goal. Target man, because then they'll be ready for any passes that come to the chest or feet that are going to be in the air, so don't worry about that. Target man is exactly what you need for that. Stay on the edge of the box for cross. Once again, you don't want them to be running in there and losing their own positions, because they will be needed in defense. Now, both your CDMs are on cover center, stay back while attacking. Pretty self-explanatory. You're just defending for your life at this point. Left back, right back on stay back and overlap. Stay back once again because you're trying to support the defense. And overlap, very importantly, so that they can get the ball to the right mid and the left mid, or even the striker from a position where they can have more space to maneuver. And then lastly, the goalkeeper comes for crosses. But guys, last 10 minutes, you're losing by 2 goals. You're losing by 1 goal. You really need to push everything at this point. You put on the 4-1-2-1-2 second variation, the most reliable formation in the game for attacking. Press after possession loss. Very importantly, it will just get your players forward, guys, and it will mean that you're just getting the ball back as quickly as possible, as the diagram shows you. 58 width. Now, the 58 width is very important. This means that obviously you're going to be able to have your 2 centimeters stretching out a bit more to the sides, allowing no wing play, since especially everyone goes towards the wing when they are leading by a goal or 2 and then you need to counter attack. It's best to have the width a bit further so that all the defense covers it. Depth is going to be 70, because at this point you need to really push up, and if you feel like it's not enough, push up to 75 or even 80, but for me 70 is enough to make sure that there's a balance and not a stupid kind of overwhelming reliance on just, you know, YOLO. Really. Fast build up, because you're going to be trying quick 1-2 passes. You want the players to get up there, up the field as quickly as possible, and fast build up with direct passing will ensure that at all times your players will be up there creating chances for you, just because it will get them pushing forward and it will get them you know, kind of focusing on that attacking work rate that they have rather than the defensive one. 57 width, because we want to stretch out just a bit more. We don't want to be too predictable in the last few minutes, so 57 width is going to be able to manage that. 7 or 8 players in the box. I put 7 because I like the last player to kind of be just on the edge of the box, like literally the line of the box, as you can see, and then the other players, you know, on 8 would be all in the box. I don't need that, guys. 7 will work it perfectly. 1 corner, 1 free kick. Now, both your strikers are going to be on stay central and stay forward, because they need to obviously stay up there and create chances, quick 1-2s with each other. But one of your fastest players will need to be on getting behind. Once again, it's just because they're faster, you know, those quick 1-2s work so well in this game, but you need one player up there to be able to fulfill that role. So that's why you have one player on getting behind and one player on mixed. The cam is going to be on stay forward and get into box for cross, just because you need them up there and you want them to be the one to run into the box, because, you know, cam, you really should trust them at this point. Both your center mids are on balanced attack cover wing. You do not touch them. To be honest, this has been a thing since last year's FIFA, and I don't know exactly why it works, but it just does, guys. Everyone's been using it. I used it in pro games last year, so don't change it, guys. It works perfectly as it does. Cut pass and lanes, cover center, stay back. Usually I wouldn't get cut pass and lanes on the CDM in a 4-1-2-1-2 second variation, but I do here, because the CDM will need to kind of help us out in attack at this point and get the ball back as quickly as possible and get it booted up there so we can start our attacks. Cut pass and lanes should be able to do that with the interception emphasis that will put on the player. Left back and right back are both on step up, overlap, join the attack, guys. It's just pushing them up, gung ho, get the goal, get them all the way up there as quickly as possible, and then the goalkeeper on comes for crosses and balanced saving outside the box, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it's helped you at least a bit, guys. Make sure to like and subscribe like I mentioned. Make sure to turn on post notifications. I love you all. Thank you so much for all your support recently, and until next time, peace.